B'Shem Hashem Naaseh v'Nastiach. It is my greatest pleasure to give another lecture at this Makom Kadosh. Makom Kadosh Ma'or HaTorah. This shiur is dedicated for Ilui Nishmat Shlomo Chaim ben David Hekmaja Olav Shalom. Baruch Hashem, we are here today because of all his chasadim that we can learn Torah. So Be'ezat Hashem, this should be a zechut for his Ilui Nishmato. So today's subject is about Korbanot. As we know, sacrifices were one of the essential reasons for Beit HaMikdash. When we had Beit HaMikdash, when we had the first Beit HaMikdash, second Beit HaMikdash, we could come to Beit HaMikdash and offer sacrifices. And sacrifices were there in order to atone for our mistakes. But nowadays, be'avonotenu harabim, because of our many sins, unfortunately, we don't have Beit HaMikdash, and therefore we cannot bring korbanot, sacrifices. But instead, our rabbis of blessed memory, our sages, teach us that tefillah comes in a place of sacrifices. Why? Because when the korbanot were brought, there was a tefillah said before the korban, before the animal being slaughtered, that this animal should be atonement for my mistake. And the translation of that tefillah was something similar to as if this animal is the mankind, is the individual who did a mistake himself, and he should have been slaughtered. He should have been punished by Malach Hashem. He should have been slaughtered by the sword of Satan, because we know Satan has a sword. And when the time comes for the neshama to leave this world, the Satan comes, and with his spiritual sword, he attaches the neshama from the body, and the neshama goes to Hashem. So nowadays we don't have korbanot, unfortunately, but we can perhaps do our best through the tefillot or other means that we're gonna learn. We just started Sefer Vayikra. Sefer Vayikra, the third Sefer from Chamisha Chumshe Torah, deals with the laws of Korbanot. The laws of Korbanot, nowadays we cannot really relate to them much because we're not practicing them. We don't have the Beit HaMikdash. But as our rabbis teach us, that Korbanot are very important to Hashem. Rabbeinu Eliezer Papo in Pele Yoetz brings in the Ma'amar Korbanot, Yadua Kama Ma'amare Rabotenu Zichronam Livachah Shamru Shecheriyat Korbanot Chashuv Me'od Lifnei HaMakom U'Ma'ale Alehem Keilu Nivna Mikdash Bimehem. That the Korbanot is so important to Hashem that as if in their times this Beit HaMikdash being built. Ukeilu hichrivu kol hakorbanot. And is compared to somebody who brings korban, is as if he's bringing all the korbanot. How many korbanot we have? How many different types of korbanot we have? We have four major areas of korbanot. Korban khatat, when a person would do unintentional sin, he would bring korban khatat. Let's say he would, lo aleinu, he would not keep Shabbat unintentionally. He would make a mistake. When the Beit HaMikdash was built, he could bring a korban, and he could say tefillah. He could ask for forgiveness, and that would be end of the avera. Hashem would forgive him. Right? Korban khatat. Another korban is korban asham. Korban asham is also another type of korban, but it meant to atone for intentional mistakes. Korban Ola was a very higher level of Korban, that the whole animal was burnt. So another Korban Toda is another area of Korban Asham that comes to appreciation of Hashem. Let's say somebody had a baby boy, baby girl, he would bring Korban Toda, or some miracle happened for him, he would bring Korban Toda. Korban Mincha, the sacrifices that went on animals actually were on a certain flour they would bring. So nowadays we don't have any of these korbanot. מעשה קורבנות וסדר פתאום הקטורת, however רבנו אליעזר פאפו עליו השלום brings in his Sefer Pele Yoetz that nowadays by reading מעשה Korbanot, the sections of Korbanot, how the Korbanot was done in Beit HaMikdash, which is in fact brought in Sidur, is before Baruch Shamar, right? And also the Pitom Ketoret, the 11 types of Samemanim, those spices that were mixed together in a certain way, that nowadays unfortunately we don't know how it was done. When Mashiach comes, it's going to be revealed again. So just by reading those Pesukim, Hashem would consider as if we have brought Korbanot. So every day, if one would go through these Pesukim, it takes approximately 5 to 10 minutes, right? You could assure for yourself a Korban, right? You could as if bring, Pitom Ketoret. So Zohar HaKadosh talks about this, that this Pitom HaKetoret is so important that if people would have known the importance of it, they would write every letter of the section of Pitom HaKetoret with gold, right? And they would make a crown out of it, right? Because it's so holy and it could do a lot of benefits. Korbanot and Pitom Ketoret, especially Pitom Ketoret, is unbelievable. It could do a lot. Zohar HaKadosh brings, this is only when you understand what you're reading, right? When you understand the Pesukim, and then that you could get to its full, level of atonement, full benefits. But if you don't understand it,
explain it to
right?
me.
So we're gonna explain it, that in the section of Pitom HaKetoret, it says exactly what were the spices, and it was mixed, and what it would do, that the reach, there was a miracle done, that all these smoke of the korbanot would go straight to Hashem, right? And it says in the Gemara that the smell of the Pitom Ketoret was so good, right? The smell of the spices, right? That no lady needed perfume in Israel to certain points. Of course, not in Jerusalem, and the smell would go even to some other cities, right? The smell of the korbanot was so good. Imagine having barbecue every day in Jerusalem. When the first Beit HaMikdash and the second Beit HaMikdash were built, there was always these sacrifices, right? But Hashem made a miracle that no pregnant lady would have miscarriages because of the great smell of the barbecues. Because when a pregnant woman wants something and you don't get it to her, it could lo aleinu make damage to the baby to the extent of miscarriage. So therefore there is a great discussion in halakha, that halakha brings if a woman who is pregnant desires something that is not kosher, right? So you need to first try to convince the baby not to desire it. How do you convince the baby? Baby is not born yet, right? So you go whisper. You go whisper into the ear of the pregnant mother and you say, this is not kosher. It's not good for you. And if that would help, great. If not, the halacha says, you need to get the non-kosher food to her, unfortunately. So there was a constant miracle done in one of the miracles in Israel, that when the first temple and the second temple were built, no pregnant lady had miscarriage because of the smell of the korbanot, right? So let's go back to Pele Yoetz, right? בעניין קורבנות מלכים ומעדנות חובה למזון Now, if a person goes to Beit HaKnesset and Beit Midrash and he reads the section of Korbanot, the section of Pitom Ketoret, Hashem considers as if he has entered into Beit HaMikdash, because Beit HaKnesset is called Mikdash Me'at. One of the reasons that Rabbeinu Harav David Shalita always encourages you to come to Beit HaKnesset to daven here, as opposed to praying by the kotel. You know where the kotel is, wall of your bedroom, right? Is because here is compared to Beit HaMikdash. And when you come here, you say the Pitom, Ketoret, Korbanot, it is considered for you as if you have brought the Korbanot. And it's unbelievable, In the time of Beit HaMikdash, when a person would bring a korban, it was a unbelievable expense. An animal costs anything from like $500 to $1,500. Nowadays, back then, was expensive. So by you giving away that money, that would assure that you would not do that mistake again, right? The korban. So nowadays, somebody who gives tzedakah, one who, he lets his hard-earned money, hard-earned kosher money to go for another cause that could also secure atonement. V'ashrem Israel, praiseworthy, how happy are Bnei Israel, Yehudim, כולם לומדים פרשת קורבנות וסדר פתאום הקטורת וסדר המערכה ופרק איזה מרומן. That all those Yehudim that they read the Parashat Korbanot, Seder Pitom HaKetoret, the 11 spices, right? How the Korbanot were brought, right? Which is mentioned in Eze Mekuman. The places of different Korbanot, there were different places in Beit HaMikdash for different reasons. ויש שקוראים כל פרשיות הקורבנות. So according to Zohar says, ויכוון בהו, that you need to understand what you're saying. Guys, I encourage you, if you don't know the section of Korbanot that is before Baruch Shamar, grab a Siddur that has English translation or Persian translation, whatever your language is, right? And try to understand it, at least the translation of the words. Obviously, it would be great to understand deep all these different halachot of the korbanot. Nowadays,
it's good to learn Daf Yomi, Rabbi.
Daf Yomi, right? Yeah, last night I attended a siyum of my great friend, the Dr. Nur Pavar. Yeah, he gave siyum on Masachet Chulin and Baba Batra. So he was explaining on Masachet Chulin. There is a section on Masachet Chulin that says a person who learns Torah Hashem, that is as if he has brought 4 korbanot, right? He has brought Korban Khatat, Korban Ola, Korban Asham, Korban Mincha, right? And in a way, learning Torah is greater because you could bring the Korban, but you might not have the best kavanah, or something could go wrong. But by you learning Torah, the commentaries over there say that if you learn Torah, you don't even need to bring those korbanot. So nowadays that we don't have Beit HaMikdash, ba'avonotenu harabim, all we need to do is just by learning Torah, by having set times to learn Torah. When you come to Beit HaKnesset, another good thing about coming to Beit HaKnesset is that Rav David teaches you halakha, right? And by learning halakha in the morning, you be kovea itim betorah, right? That a Jew is required to learn at least yomam v'layla, right? Day and night, and this way you do the learning of the morning at least by 2 halachot, right? As Tana de Beliyahu Eliyahu Hanavi Zachol Tov explains, Kol hashoneh halachot b'chol yom muftach lo shehu ben olam haba. That whoever learns 2 halachot a day, right, Hashem would give him a guaranteed section in the world to come, whatever that means. In the spiritual world, obviously it's not physical, Hashem is going to secure him a place near to him. So, Beha'ish Asher Chanano Hashem liyot chelcho miyushvei Beit HaMidrash. If there is a person who desires to have a part in the mitzvah of learning and sitting in Beit HaMidrash, ma tov u'ma na'im sheyichva itim lilmod b'shas u'berambam. Right? Rabbeinu Yosef, Rabbeinu Papo explains in Pele Yoetz that make yourself set times to learn Torah. Learn Rambam. By learning and by reading the Pesukim about Korbanot, Hashem considers as if you have brought the Korbanot. Guys, I want to tell you something unbelievable. Right? I want to tell you something unbelievable. Not that long time ago, in Europe there was a custom, and this custom is practiced in some places. In Israel also, I was told that it's practiced. That when children start learning Torah, they teach them Sefer Vayikra. Sefer Vayikra. Right? Why is that? Sefer Vayikra is so difficult. The halachot of Korbanot, you cannot relate to it. You don't see it, right? We don't have it nowadays. So why they start from Sefer Vayikra? It's so difficult. One of the reasons behind that is, right? One of the reasons behind that is because nowadays, since we cannot bring Korbanot, and the children who have pure heart and they don't have averot, right? By reading those sections, Hashem accepts their korbanot. Exactly, tahor, and they secure this great zechut for everyone else on their behalf, that Hashem should accept their Torah learning as an atonement for all Am Israel. Right? So by us reading the parashiot of Sefer Vayikra, and by understanding it, Hashem would accept that as a korban for himself. Zat Hashem. So guys, I want to tell you a story. It says in Gemara that every Yehudi must have 3 characteristics, 3 midot. Rachmanim, Baishanim, ve Golmnei Chasadim. Rachmanim are merciful. Yehudim are merciful. Right?
6:15.
Baishanim, right? Yehudim, right? they would be embarrassed to do averot, right? They would not have azlut panim chutzpah. They would not have chutzpah to do wrongdoings, right? They would not do it. If chas v'shalom if they are forced to do something wrong, they rather do it in sinah. They rather do it in hidden than doing it in front of everyone. Right? So rachmanim, baishanim, ve gomle chasadim. Yehudim do acts of kindness, right? So guys, let me ask you, if that is the case, how could a Yehudi bring a korban and slaughter the animal? Right? Right? This is the question that animal rights people ask. Right? Right? Why you guys say that you are rachmanim, you are merciful, but you take the animal and you slaughter it? Right? Now, this question is very simple to be answered. The answer is because the same creator who created that animal command us, wants us to take that animal and use it for the sake of becoming close to Hashem, to ask for atonement. So Hashem, who created that animal, has all the rights. He could tell us what to do with it. So that is not a question on being merciful. And the story is like this. This story was brought by Rab Chaim Wallner in his Sefer People Speak. In the Sefer People Speak, people, many Yehudim, they send the stories, true stories. So there was this El Al flight going from New York to Eretz Israel. Right? In the middle of the flight, there were these passengers, a lot of passengers, but there were few passengers that they were very careless. They had, music loud and laughing out loud and talking to each other and not paying attention to others. And there were this family, so son and daughter and their father, they were having a lot of fun, ignoring everyone else, not paying attention to anybody else, just having fun. The father was drinking lots of whiskey and alcohol, unfortunately, having good time. And in the middle of the flight, right? In the middle of flight, lo aleinu, one of the passengers, a little girl, right, is having seizure. If I'm not mistaken, having some medical emergency. So the captain goes on the speaker. He says, "Is there any doctor on the board that could help us?" No doctor there. Right? Nobody is there to help. So they say, we have to do emergency landing, and there is an island on the way. We're gonna be landing there emergency, and this is going to cause you to have 2-3 hours of delay, which is not that bad. Usually flights have delays anyways. So there was this mean lady, the same lady who was playing the music loud and not paying attention to others' respect, not acting the way that one should act in the plane. So she starts arguing. Why should we stop for this little girl? Why should we get delayed because of this one girl? Right? And this girl who is arguing is not religious, and the girl, is a religious girl in a big family, right? Obviously there is some sort of, unfortunately, sinat chinam over here of non-frum people to frum people. So it gets so bad that literally there was a fight, right? Was on breaking out because among the religious people with this non-religious lady, and even the non-religious people in the plane. They were, arguing with the lady. What are you talking about? There's emergency here. We must stop. We must help her, right? So nevertheless, they stop, and right when the plane is coming down, the father of this mean lady is complaining of some chest pain. Lo aleinu. Chest pain, right? So he's complaining to his daughter, to his son. I'm not feeling well. So the son and the daughter, they say, oh, what do you expect? You had all this whiskey, all this alcohol. So this is what happens. They don't take it seriously. So when the plane lands, he's really in bad shape, and they get him into ambulance as well. So the girl and the man, they both go into ambulance, and the plane continues. Actually, this the son decides to wait and to stay with the father in the island, and the plane continues its journey to Eretz Israel. So, in the middle of the way, they contact the captain and they say that the man was saved from a big heart attack, and all the veins going into the heart were clogged, and they had to do certain procedure to open it temporarily, but they have to do a heart surgery to save the man's life. And the man's life was saved because of the lady who has seizure. Because the little girl who has seizure. So they come, the flight attendant came to the same mean girl, the daughter of the man who had almost heart attack, and she explains, you never know. This little girl saved your father's life. If it wasn't because of her, we would have delivered the dead body of your father. So, guys, we see Am Israel is Rachmanim. We are Rachmanim. We are merciful. We care about each other. When was the last time that you saw a Jew celebrating downfall of an enemy? We don't celebrate the downfall of enemy. Even David HaMelech tells us we should not celebrate the downfall of our enemies. As Arizal says, we need to hate the wickedness. We need to hate that which is bad. Not even the Russia itself, because the Russia might be influenced by the wickedness. Maybe if you daven to Hashem, maybe if you do something that He would awaken, He would make teshuvah, and he would become a good person. So Am Israel is Rachmanim, Baishanim, Vegomle Chasadim. We do acts of merciful. Even the Korbanot is mercy. Korbanot secures atonement that mankind should not get punished, that the whole world would live in peace. So Be'ezat Hashem, with this, we should mechazdek each other. We should encourage each other to learn the halachot of Korbanot, to say the section of Pitom HaKetoret Korbanot with more kavanah. And Be'ezat Hashem, that should be a great zechut for all of us. That Be'ezat Hashem, Hashem should build us the third Beit HaMikdash, the third and the final Beit HaMikdash b'mehera b'yameinu, that we bring actual Korbanot there, and again we get to that highest level of being karov to Hashem v'nomar Amen.